What's going on, guys? In this video, I want to talk about the perfect technique in the sense that how to learn the perfect technique and how to teach the perfect technique. Check it out. So let's just get this out of the way at the very beginning of the video as far as perfection and the perfect techniques. Okay, let's go plural with that. Not perfect technique, perfect techniques. How do you coach the perfect techniques and how do you teach the perfect techniques? And is there perfect technique? Right off the bat, I don't believe in perfection. I believe in striving for perfection. I believe in near perfection. When you execute techniques the way they're supposed to be done, you can say it's perfect, but in my mind, perfection comes when it's perfect in the sense that it cannot be countered. Doesn't exist. And that's good that it doesn't exist, because that means we can continue to grow in our martial arts. It means that as we perfect something, someone is going to find a counter. And then we have to grow and find a new technique to perfect. But as I'm saying that, it can be argued, which another coach I used to have, a boxing coach I used to have, it can be argued that when you perfect that technique, that in itself is perfection. Let's throw that off to the side. Whether you believe it or not, we are seeking the perfect technique. That said, as a coach, and you as a student or as a coach, how do you teach the perfect technique? Or how do you learn the perfect technique? And is the way that you were taught that technique perfect to where you feel the need to go and judge other people's means of learning or even means of coaching or teaching? You feel that the way you were shown is the best way, is the perfect way, and that other ways that you see or witness are subpar. You have that right. That is your opinion. But let me stop you right there, okay? Because the perfect technique, the perfect way to teach or learn a technique, it doesn't exist. So just chill out. Let me explain it to you like this. How many ways can we get to 10, right? How do you get to 10? 5 plus 5 equals 10. But so does 6 plus 4. So does 8 plus 2. So does 7 plus 3. 9 plus 1. As you can see, when there's an end result, an end goal, there's a myriad of ways to get there. This may work for this person. This may get through to that person. This may make sense to this person. This may make sense to that person. But what I focus on is the end result. The ending technique that we are working on, is that applied properly? Don't dismiss another person's path to a technique as long as the final technique is proper in its application. Do you get the position that you are fighting for? Always try to learn the technique in the most fundamental way, and then of course you can change it to fit your style or your body or whatever. I go back to the whole point of this video when I say the fundamental way. An instructor has the means and the knowledge to teach a technique in a way that he feels will get through to you. It may not be the way that someone else feels is the best way to teach it, but respect what the end result is by respecting the fact that however it is taught, the end result exists. The technique provides the result that you are looking for. Now, the debates that take place when it comes to this kind of stuff, as far as somebody saying that this person isn't teaching that right, or he should have taught it like this, or you need to show this, or you need to show that, or the person applying the technique is, oh, you're doing that wrong, you need to listen. First of all, the person applying technique, if there's holes in what they're doing, then consider them students and they're still learning. As far as criticism towards the instructors or the way that they're showing something, pay attention to the end result and how they are trying to get this person, where however that path or however what they're saying winds and dips and goes up and down, if the end result is proper, as far as what they're trying to teach that person, where they're trying to send them, what strike is trying to be landed, what position is trying to be gained, what any of this looks like, it only matters to one person, the person who is learning the technique. Because at the end, people, Who decides effectiveness? Who decides if the way things are being taught is effective, or the way that they're teaching the technique to be applied and the end result of how the technique is applied? Who decides its effectiveness? The student and the instructor, of course, because the instructor was a student. The instructor should still be a student. I say this all the time. Student first, instructor second. The instructor has been the student. The instructor has learned a certain way. They have developed a way to get through to their students that they feel makes sense. Now, as an instructor, I will say I do not teach student A and student B exactly the same sometimes. I teach a technique to everyone the same. Then when we break off, I may have to change the way I explain things to one group versus another group. Some group takes what I explain to the whole group and you can just run with it. Others don't quite get it, so I have to break off and give it to them a different way. Doesn't make it less effective. It actually can make it more effective for that person. So the point of this video is just to tell you guys this. When seeking out perfect techniques, or good, let's just go with good technique, right? Open your mind. Don't be so hypercritical of people that you don't know, or judgmental because you think you know something that they don't know, or you think that the way you were shown is the way, and any other way that you see or that you hear is complete BS. That's dismissive, it's disrespectful, and it's going to stunt your growth. The skill to obtain what you may consider to be really good techniques or even perfect techniques is an open mind. This will truly give you the ability to learn, and to learn different ways to get to the same place. Who do you think is the better martial artist? The guy who knows 5 or 10 different ways to get to one position, or the guy who knows one way and he sticks to that way? I tell my students this all the time. You guys are younger than me, you're stronger than me, you're faster than me, more athletic. The only reason I can beat you right now is knowledge. I just have more knowledge than you. I have more paths to get to the same place that you're trying to go. I'm just saying, when you see something being taught by someone else, consider how they're teaching it, take what is useful from what they're saying, and apply it to what you already know. I'm not gonna front, guys. There may be times you look at something and the way it's taught, it just does not add up for you, and it's just totally off the wall, and it just doesn't benefit you. That's okay. You don't have to take what they're saying. I'm excluding like fake gurus and phonies and stuff like that. Like, guys, if you've done training and you train in a certain martial arts, you should be able to identify, again, if the end result makes sense, okay? Focus on the end result. Because sometimes when something's being taught, it can seem a bit off the wall, but when you're like, okay, this technique, they know what they're talking about as far as getting to this position. But if the end position is complete BS, use your better judgment in that aspect. This is something I live by, and this is what I'm gonna leave you with, okay? The smartest person in the world knows that he knows nothing. So remember, the best skill you can have when learning martial arts is an open mind. From there, just choose what you feel best fits your needs. All right, guys, thank you for watching the video. As always, keep fighting for fit, no excuses, and we'll see you in the next one.